And while we couldn't bring it into the driveway because people are parked there, we got it home safe and sound. So Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. All right, so we got it back into the driveway, and I guess the question of the day is, did your RV dealership fix what they were supposed to fix under warranty? Let's go find out. We had 3 or 4 different issues. One, the heater went out, and you heard me talk about that earlier. The second one was the underbelly cover was coming apart, and it appears to me that they fixed that. Another one was a wire, a ground wire for the 12-volt system had come off, and they did fix that. They were supposed to wash it. They didn't fix it, or they didn't clean it. And it was kind of our fault because we needed the RV back. The next issue was the door handle was a bear to open. All right, so let's see how this is. I mean, you'd have to reach through here and then use your whole body weight to pull it back to open it up. Let's see. Beautiful, huh? Real nice. All right. And the other issue wasn't their fault. I tore off my speaker by hitting a lamppost in Carmel by the Bay, Carmel by the Seat. And the excuse here is that because of COVID, all parts are just delayed. They can't get them in. And I said, well, don't fix that. Just fix the heater. And they said they fixed the heater. So I got it all hooked up. So let's go in and see if the heater does in fact work. Here we are inside, and here's the heater mode. That's auto. That's the air conditioner. And that's the heater. So, listen to that, it clicked on. It clicked on. Now before it clicked on, it would shut down within a couple of seconds, so let's just sit here and watch. Oh, I heard it start up. Now this was, he told us at first it was not covered under warranty. There was a part that wasn't part of the motherboard, and he said no, that particular part wasn't covered. It was a 2.5 hour job to replace it, and they couldn't get the part in. So I told them we're leaving on January 19th to go out to the desert, and it's pretty darn cold out there. And we were thinking about buying a Mr. Buddy if he couldn't get the part in, and just bringing a 5-gallon propane tank in here and heating up like that. So they made some calls, and they were able to find 3 of these. God, what are they called? Can't remember the safe something. And they were able to find the part. And then they said, well, it's not under warranty. The part was only $30, but there's 2.5 hours of labor. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And we'd have to pay for the labor and all that. Well, we dropped it off on the 17th of November, and we picked it up just Wednesday last week. Oh yeah. And he called us back and said, well, we called the factory, and apparently it is under warranty. So they repaired the heater. Oh yeah, baby. They repaired the heater. So let's see how long it takes to heat up to 80 degrees. Another thing we wanted them to do was we were asking them if we could put the shelf right here to mount the TV, because where it is, if you notice, this is the This is the mode for your DVRs or DVDs. And when you pull the TV out, you're kind of blocking that. See? And that was just junky. So we're still working. Procrastination is the way. And it works fine. I'll turn it on and see if it does work. We haven't been in here for almost 2 months. And they said there's not enough support back there. So I'm gonna figure out some way of mounting it back there, maybe by attaching it underneath and have it hang, or put a little shelving unit right in there somehow that's not dependent on the strength of the wall to hold it, because it does stretch your neck out. Love these cabaret tables. If you haven't done it, do so. All you do is go online, Amazon, look for a RV table connector or whatever you type in, and they'll send you that for about $6.95. I bought that piece on that tabletop on Amazon too, because I didn't want to cut it out and I wanted something nice, and that's a nice cedar 24-inch round. I sanded it down, painted it red, make it look like the cabaret table on Cabaret. If you ever pull up Cabaret on your YouTube, you'll see that symbol, big round red dot. And that saves a ton of leg room. Tons. Makes it very comfortable. Because now, without bumping into it, you can put your feet up like this and just kick back. And we store the table here. It fits very nicely. And we use a little bit of foam rolled up so it doesn't bang up and down, and it stays there. And if you're traveling and you put the table in that, where is it? In that there, it just holds it tight. You don't have to worry about it. Oh yeah, I can feel the heat now. I can feel the heat now. So nice. And I do another review of this because it has been about 6 months. And there's just nothing other than those little problems we had. The heater was we took 2 trips without the heater, and we brought an electric heater because we were staying at a campsite with power, and it's just not the same. But we have no complaints at all. Again, just in case you're watching this for the first time, you didn't see my other 3. We did replace the camper RV Queen with a great mattress. Look how thick that is. And the problem is that it hangs over. The base of it isn't as long. So I use these PCB pipes, very easy, just to support it. So when your feet are here, they don't have a tendency of falling down. And it works great. Just walk around bed. We use an electric blanket when we have power. Even when we didn't have power, we were up at the Grand Tetons. And I ran my Honda 22i right before we jumped into bed for a few hours and plugged everything in, and it was nice. And that 22i ran the electric blanket, the microwave, the TV, and at one point a Mr. Coffee Maker, all at the same time. So that's it. Great unit, no slide. We didn't want the slide. Slides just break. But we didn't want 2 sitting areas, and here you get a couch and a face-to-face. And you notice a lot of separation between the bed and your living room. I call it my living room. So when someone's sleeping up there, like my wife, she sleeps in, I get up early, I come down here, I make my coffee right there, I sit down, I pop on the TV. And it is like having a little living room. I've seen hundreds of other travel trailer and fifth wheels, Class A, B, C videos, and they're walking back and forth and showing it. And there are some nice ones out there. But for $16,999, this is the best layout. It's only 4,300 pounds, and that's with a built-in generator. So, you're down about 4,100 pounds. You load it up, you're up to 5,000 pounds. The other ones all start off at 5,000 pounds. And if they don't start off at 5,000 or 6,000 pounds, you're sacrificing just space. You don't have a walk-around bed. If you do have a walk-around bed, like I show you every time, all of this living area, all of this kitchen area, all of this here, it's kind of squished up right here, like, 6-8 inches from the bed. And then you have the bathroom and kitchen, all that stuff's down there. Very few units. Lance has a nice one, but that's $58,000 and another 1,500 pounds heavier. But all the other ones are just heavy, or you need to slide out. You can't get to the bathroom. You can't. You pull into a Walmart or a rest stop. You have to push out the slide. It kind of gives you away. And this one, it's not. You don't have as much width, from side to side. But the configuration is nice. We love it. No complaints yet. And even if we went up in weight, I don't know what you're getting by getting a bigger, more expensive RV trailer, except for a little bit more length from back to here to back there, to 10 inches wider. But you're still getting the same refrigerator, the same amount of cabinetry, the same face-to-face dinette. I mean, some of them, you go up in weight and price, and you're giving up one or the other. You're giving up this for a nice couch setup that vibrates your butt and warms it up, where you have a nicer one of those without the couch, or the couch has to be part of the Murphy bed. Murphy beds are fine if you're in your rec room and you have guests over, but when you're cruising down the highway, and you do get an extra couch. I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying that when you're cruising down the highway and you pull into a rest stop or a Walmart, and you just want to take like a 15-minute power nap, you got to whip down that bed and fix it up and put in your blankets and pull out your pillows. And it's just a big ordeal to get your bed situated. Plus, you have to go with that Murphy bed mattress. You can't switch that Murphy bed out with this thing. Look at that. That's about 12 inches. You can't switch that Murphy bed mattress out, because good luck trying to fold that in half, right? You couldn't. So either you lose your couch and you have your Murphy bed out all the time, and in that case, if your Murphy bed's unloaded, you're right here. I mean, everything, all this area over here is like right there. You have no separation. And then sometimes you can't even get the door with the Murphy bed open, barely. So we just like this. I like this configuration the best. I haven't found one yet. That's God's truth, folks. I haven't found one yet for the weight, for the size, for the money, or for the layout that I'd trade out of this into. Unless I had like a fifth wheel, and then I'd need a bigger truck. We're pulling with an F-150, and they say it's good up to 9,000, 10,000 pounds, and it's a beautiful truck. I love that thing. 4x4, sports model, skid plates. I mean, it's just a dynamite truck. But you'd have to go up in the size of a truck, maybe to a 250, a dually. And this scoots around. Well, you've seen the taste. I mean, we were downtown Carmel, to where there would be no way to get a 25-footer down there. This is a 21 FB, so it's 21 feet interior. I think it's 25 feet 6 inches out exterior with the truck. But it's so maneuverable and it's so light. So that's my gig. That's my thing. I'm gonna turn on the TV and just see if it's still all working. It's getting very nice and toasty in here. I got to give a round of applause to RV World in I think it's Rancho Cordova or Citrus Heights down there by Sacramento. It took them a while, but they had a hard time getting parts, but they fixed what they fixed. They didn't get to the speaker, but I said, don't worry about the speaker. we'd rather have it back and get it ready for this trip out to Quartzsite, Arizona on the 19th to meet up with Traveling Robert and whoever out there, maybe you, going to make the voyage. There's an RV show out there, big one, big tent RV, if it's still going on, and then we're going to boondock in the BLM lands and try to do one of those, you know, covered wagon circles with the trailers and bring out all the instruments and have a hoedown, an RV hoedown. And then from there we're going to head up to Sedona and do some boondocking up there, meet some family, and get to the healing center of Sedona. The vortex, the magnetic vortex, is supposed to be very healing. And then we'll head on back around the 5th of February. So it's going to be a long trip. Come along and join the fun. So I'm going to go turn on that TV and just see how she does, and I'll come back on for a second. Talk to you in a bit. Well, as you can see, everything's still working. Their little smart TV. This is Wi-Fi. You know, you get YouTube and Tubi and Prime Video, Netflix, all that stuff. That's good. Hooked it into the DVR. It is 60 degrees. I just put this out, so this will take time, but it's warm in here. Now, let me show you this. We have a mission, and you do too, admit it, to collect magnets. Now this is supposed to go to Traveling Robert because of the Pelicans, and we just never sent it off. And I'm going to send it off or give it to him in person when we meet up with him in Quartzsite. That's yours, Robert. There it is. But you got the Grand Canyon, Salt Lake City, Seattle, Wyoming, Las Vegas, Carmel, and then a lot of them are in a jar. And my wife likes these, all these magnets. I like the pins. So we start up here, Hoover Dam. What's this guy right here? It's upside down, huh? This guy is oh, this is the Desert Tower. That's Grand Canyon. That there, I believe, was Bigfoot country, maybe. This one here is the loneliest highway in America. Highway 50. We did the whole route. This was Carmel, Las Vegas. Showed this once before. This is this was a brewery in Petaluma where we met up with Traveling Robert. Area 51, of course. I can't read that. My eyes are bad. Whatever that is. Seattle. Carmel by the Sea. Mount St. Helens. Drove all the way up to the very top of it. Well, on the road. I didn't walk up to it, but we drove up to it. Monterey. St. Helens. This was the Tillamook Cheese Factory. I don't know. Oh, Pebble Beach. This was 17-mile drive. That's the Pebble Beach Golf Course. Oregon Beaver State, and whatever that may be. Lake Tahoe. We spent a lot of time up in Lake Tahoe. It's only about an hour and 20 minutes away. I'm kind of lucky in that sense. And we were going to go up before the snow. There may not be any snow, but we aren't going to do it now. And I was going to go up to all the different ski resorts while there was no snow and just drive into them dry and just walk around. But it's still, you know, it's still 20 degrees up there. There wasn't any snow. And there was just no way to do it without heat. So we postponed that. But this is it, 21 FB Mesa Ridge. We love it. And if you don't want to spend a lot of money, you don't, look at the dog blanket. It looks like a dog sleeping there. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, and you just want room, and it's just you and your wife or whomever, yourself, great single. I mean, you can live in this as a single. Even as a couple, you can go quite a long ways in it and feel comfortable. This is the way to go. I know I'm biased, but you don't have any slide outs to worry about leaking or not going in. What do you do when it doesn't go in? You know, what do you do when it doesn't go in? You lose power, something happens and it's sticking out. I mean, you have to just, I've seen it probably half dozen times in different RV spots where you get, you know, you have all your neighbors and they're all lifting it up and pushing and jerking. And so I didn't want anything to do with the slide out. I just wanted I wanted two places to sit. Like on the 175, which you saw, it has a nice U back here. It's a U-shaped sitting area with one of those big tables in it, which I replaced with that, of course. Didn't replace it, but I have that as a backup. And it had the kitchen in the same spot, the bathroom in the same spot. It had a very, very small refrigerator where that oven is there. It had a very small refrigerator. It had a sink. And it was great. Absolutely great. If you have a little small SUV and you want something where you can move around and don't feel like you're in, like a sardine can, it does have a flop over bed. But you have a lot of space, and it was at that time it was only $12,995. I think they're up to around 17 now, and this one's up to 21 or 22. RV people, they are just rocking and rolling. Money time for them. People can't go to Europe, and they just want to travel around and be isolated from the masses. RVs are very popular now, but if you have a little SUV or a Toyota truck or smaller truck, that 175 is the best thing on the planet. Now there are other makers of the 175. We saw the Springdale when we picked this guy up, and the Springdale was real nice, a little bit more classier than the 175 RD, but again, it was almost $19,000. It was the same layout. The 175. Now this does have the corrugated metal on the back, on the outside. It's not fiberglass. It is wood built. And truthfully, we had an opportunity to buy a fiberglass aluminum body trailer similar to the 175 RD, but it had the kitchen right next to the bed. But I didn't like the look of it because it reminded me of a carnival trailer that you sell cotton candy and hot dogs on a stick out of. And I believe the ridges, and this is the stupidest thing, the ridges on this tin act as little airfoils that you may see on like NASCAR, where when you do hit a head-on wind or a side wind or something, instead of just being a parachute, it breaks up the wind and it funnels it back to the back of the trailer. Now, whether that's true or not, I don't know, but we have not had one death wobble yet, and we've driven a lot. We probably put on 10,000 miles. Went through the desert, and it was just a gusty son of a gun, and not a death wobble yet. And I towed this a lot without the stabilizer bars on it when we're just going locally or we aren't going to be on the freeway for a long time, because why not? It's a hassle to put them on. And it tows just fine, and I believe it's because of those ridges on the tent. Is it true? Hell, I don't know. But I like the looks of this better. Oh, it's old-fashioned. Plus, we're in an environment where it gets really hot and really cold. We're up in the Sierras. And talking to people who live in the desert where it's just always blazing and hot, the fiberglass tends to kind of fade out, crack, and delaminate. Not all of them, but I've heard complaints. So these wood ones kind of stretch and bend and flex and whatever. And for $16,900 compared to like the Lance, $57,000 if I wanted something like this, this is just a great option. 212 QB by Jayco, the 21 FB by Mesa Ridge, Highland Ridge, and I think Springdale has one similar to this one too. The same layout, but we went with this one, and this is well made. It's strong, it's sturdy. And that's the one we chose. So you guys, this is a little review after turning it in for servicing for a heater that went out, and I'm glad to report it's blasting. So till the next time, we'll see you on the road. This is the Lost RVers. Dream big, drive hard. Brought to you by Cal Root Pig and Wife. And that was my original name for the YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit that bell. God bless you, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of The Lost RVers. And that wasn't a phony name. That was a name that was given us. Long story. Bye. I guess this would be called the postscript. There we have it right there. 90 degrees. and the set to 80. Only problem is that when you come down here, this thermostat has to hit 80 in this area of the RV, you know, before it kicks off. So you should turn that down by about 10 degrees to have it 80 degrees down in the sitting area down there. But we're prepared and ready to hit the road. See you guys. Again, this was a PS. The Lost RVers. Thanks for watching. Okay, we'll PPSS this. We'll do some unboxings for some Christmas gifts that we got. And we'll do it right over here. First thing I want to do though is I'm gonna take this table right here and move it out so I can have a little bit more, excuse me, about there. See how those work? So then I can sit on the couch and unbox it. I'll put this on a tripod and we'll do a hyperspeed. So what are we going to unbox first? What was the first kit? The coffee pot that goes right up there. Be back. So there you have it. The three, actually we have four, I'll show you the last one, is the Mr. Coffee Maker. Although the one we have, we've been bringing them in and out, bringing it in the RV and then taking it back in the kitchen. We've had 100 different coffee makers, and we have found out that right there makes the best coffee out of them all, even the real expensive ones. But the one in the kitchen has a little smaller pot, and see how I have that. Well, let me get back in here. I got a little eye screw there and two bungees, and I just strap it in, and so far, like I said, about 4,000 miles, never moved. So we decided not to bring them in and out, and a good little Santa present. The second one is the smaller Instapot. We have the big one in the house. It's just way too big, but we saw this on a few shows. I think Traveling Robert has one, and we figured that would be a nice little gift to ourselves. Ho ho ho. The third one is the DVD player. Now, we had a real tiny one. I guess I can show you this. That we bought on our very first time we went out. This little guy right here, 9-inch screen. And for whatever reason, it doesn't hold the charge. And this thing here holds 4 hours. It's a bigger screen. Now you say, oh, why don't you use your TV? Well, if you're boondocking and don't have 12 volt or you don't have the generator going, you can't use that. So we always resorted to that little guy. And if we had cell signal, we'd resort to the phones. So this, and I got some tapes. 268 episodes of Married with Children. We got this for those times where you just want to watch something. You aren't hooked up to power, and you just want to watch something. So there's a little DVR player. And the last thing is a mat with our names on it. That was a Christmas gift too. Ho ho ho! Just like Christmas morning again. It really is. All right, so that was the unboxing. I have to go back and do a voiceover on all the hyper speeds. And then I'll put this all together and bring it back on to YouTube. Again, The Lost RVers. Drive hard, dream big. Brought to you by Cal Root Pig and Wife. Beautiful. We're getting ready. We're getting ready for the desert. January 19th. See ya. Yeah, just to show you the difference, since this is YouTube and everybody likes watching things. All right, there's the old Mr. Coffee, a little bit shorter, and it has a hooped handle and it's more aligned. So when I have a little, drill a little hole and put an eye bolt in there, and we've been down all kinds of bouncy roads and it hasn't gone anywhere. Now we don't have to take it in and out. That's the best addition. Well, that's pretty cool, and that crock pot, look, fits perfectly. It was meant to be, right? When something fits perfectly, it's meant to be. All right. All right, so we have a. Did your RV dealer do you good on your warranty? And a quick walk through the 21 FB Mesa Ridge by Highland Ridge, and the DVD. So it was an unboxing, a review, and then a setup. So hey, pretty cool, huh? See ya.